Welcome to my channel. This is the fifth video of the chapter Classes and Objects. If you have not watched the previous videos links are put in the description part. If you want more updates about the channel, please do subscribe the channel. In this video, I shall be explaining how do you define the member function outside the class using the scope resolution operator. So to explain this particular concept, I shall be taking one of the lab program which will help us to explain how a member function can be written outside the class definition using scope resolution operator. Here is your lab program. Let me read out the lab program. So we are supposed to write a C++ program which can create a class with a data members A, B, C, and it is asked to create the member function which can accept these data values, that is A, B, C, and we are also supposed to calculate a discriminant based on the given conditions. We will see which are those conditions, and finally we are supposed to print the roots. So this is your lab program, and the given conditions where we have to compute our roots are, we have three different conditions here. First and the foremost thing is, if the discriminant value is 0, then we are supposed to print that the roots are equal. If the discriminant is greater than 0, then we are supposed to print the two real roots which we are going to get. And the third one is, if the discriminant is less than 0, then we are supposed to print that the roots are imaginary in nature. So before I go to the program part, let me explain you the logic behind this program. The first and the foremost thing that what they have given is, we are supposed to read A, B and C, where this A, B and C are the coefficients. This entire program is based on the quadratic equation. So what is your quadratic equation? How does it looks like? It is ax square plus bx plus c equals to 0, where A, B and C are called as the coefficients. So now we are supposed to give the input for your A, B and C, then you are supposed to calculate the roots. Now when the coefficients of a quadratic equation is given, first and the foremost thing is you can calculate the roots. How do we calculate the roots? So I can write these roots are r is equals to minus b plus r minus square root of b square minus 4ac divided by 2a. So when the coefficients of a quadratic equation is given, the root is calculated as r is equals to minus b plus r minus square root of b square minus 4ac divided by 2a. So this is the equation. Now as a part of it, I can write the same equation in two different roots because we have a plus or minus. So I can write the same statement as r1 is equals to minus b plus square root of b square minus 4ac divided by 2a is my first root, and r2 is equals to minus b minus square root of b square minus 4ac divided by 2a. Now this is what I have to calculate, r1 and r2. But before I calculate this root 1 and root 2, I am first supposed to calculate the discriminant. So what is this discriminant? So the discriminant d can be taken as your b square minus 4ac. So your b square minus 4ac in the equation is what we call it as a discriminant. Now there are three different, I'll just repeat it again. You're supposed to input your values A, B and C, create a member function to compute the discriminant. So this is your discriminant, which is b square minus 4ac, which we have to calculate. Once we have the discriminant, based on the discriminant values, we are supposed to compute this r1 value and r2 value, which are our roots. So we know that we have three different conditions One is if d equals to 0, then R1 and R2 will be same. In this sense, when d becomes 0, so this entire value will be eliminated. So this d will be 0. When I substitute the value here, then R1 equals to, it becomes minus b divided plus, let me write it, plus square root of b square minus 4ac value is 0 divided by 2a. So R2 is equals to minus b minus square root of 0, because b square minus 4ac, if I get the value of b square minus 4ac as 0, then this is, if I substitute 0 here, this is what I'm going to get. So now square root of 0 is 0 itself. So I can eliminate this. R1 is equals to minus b divided by 2a, and R2 is equals to minus b divided by 2a. That means roots are equal. Roots are equal. So that is my first condition. The second condition is if d is greater than 0, then you are supposed to calculate this part, R1 part and R2 part. In case if d is less than 0, then we have to print the roots are imaginary. This is what we have to calculate. So we have three conditions. When d equals to 0, then I'm supposed to calculate R1 and R2, where in this case the roots will be equal. If d is greater than 0, then we are supposed to calculate R1 and R2 and print the real roots. So these are your real roots, R1 and R2. And if d is less than 0, then our roots has to be printed as imaginary. So now let me take my compiler and I'll execute this entire program, and I'll show how do you create a member function outside the class definition using the scope resolution operation, and we'll see how do we calculate what are the roots that we are going to get. So here is your compiler. So we'll take the compiler and we'll execute this program. First and the foremost thing is we have to create a class. Let me create a class here. So class, and I'm going to make use of a class name as quadratic. So I'm going to define the name. I will give a name to my class as a quadratic, and then I need to create a data members. Let me create that with a private as an access specifier. So I'm going to make use of double as a data type to declare your data members a comma b comma c, and I would like to calculate the roots, two different roots. So I'm going to make use of R1 as root 1 and R2 as root 2, and I shall also have to calculate the discriminant. Let me take the discriminant as d. So now the next part is to define your member function. So I'm supposed to create the member function which accepts the input values and which can compute the discriminant, and based on the given condition we are supposed to print the roots. So let my member functions are written under the access specifier public. What I do is, first and the foremost thing, it's very important here, I'm not going to define my member function inside the class definition. Here I'm going to define the member function outside the class definition using the scope resolution operator. So what am I going to do is to define your member function outside the class definition. First and the foremost thing that what we have to do is we have to declare the member function inside the class definition. So I'm going to declare three different member functions. One is the read, and second one is to calculate the discriminant as per the question which has been asked. We have to read or input the data values, and the second one is to compute the discriminant. So I have taken the member function as disk, and the third one is void. To print it, I'm going to make it as root. I would like to print the roots or calculate the roots based on the given condition. What I have done, first I have declared the member function inside the class definition. So I'll close the class and put a semicolon indicating that's the end of your class definition. Now, here you can notice I have not defined what is the function of read. I have not defined what is the function of discriminant. I have not defined what is the function of your root. Now, these member functions has to be defined outside the class definition. So to define your member function outside the class definition, I am going to make use of a scope resolution operator. So in the previous video, I had given you an example how you can define it, a member function outside the scope resolution operator. First and the foremost thing that what we have to do is we are supposed to write the data type of that particular function. So I'm going to define the member function read here, void followed by the class name. So this is, don't get confused here. I'm just defining the member function outside the class definition. So to define it, first we are supposed to make use of your data type, then followed by the class name. The class name is quadratic and the scope resolution operator has to be used. Then we are supposed to specify our member function. So this is my member function, that is read. Now within this, I'm going to define what operation I'm supposed to do. Now cout, enter the values of A, comma B, comma C. So these are the coefficients of my quadratic equation. Put a semicolon and then you can go ahead and see in read the values of your A followed by B and followed by C. So we have read the input values of coefficients of your quadratic equation, that is A, B and C. The next part is I would like to define the discriminant. So void, again use a class name quadratic followed by a scope resolution operator and the name of the member function is disk. Now here in this function called as a disk, I'm going to compute the discriminant. As I told you, the discriminant is your b square minus 4ac, which can be written in terms of a programming equation as b square can be written as b into b minus 4 into a into c. So here is a very simple statement where you can calculate your discriminant, and that's your end of your member function discriminant. So I have defined your read outside the class definition using the scope resolution operator, and I have also defined your member function disk outside the class definition using the scope resolution operator. So now I would like to compute the roots. Now how do I compute the roots? So to compute the roots, I'm going to make use of void, again use your class definition and followed by the scope resolution operator, and the name of the member function is root. So I shall just see here what I have done. First, to define your member function outside the class, first and the foremost thing, you are supposed to declare within the class definition and then define your member function outside the class using the data type of the member function. So this is your data type of the member function, then followed by the class name and then name of your member function. The same thing even I have done here. Data type of the member function, class name, a scope resolution operator. So these two are your scope resolution operators, and this is your name of the member function. The same thing I have done it for root. Now we have three different conditions which has been given, where first one is if, what if d value, if I have calculated d value, if d value is 0, what could be your output? As we know that is supposed to print that cout the roots are equal. So this is what we have to print, and also print what are its values. So cout roots are, first let me print R1 value, and I'm just going to make use of your a space to give a space between R1 and R2, then print R2, make use of your endl so that your cursor will be moved to the next line. So now this is the first condition which I have written. If d equals to 0, then supposed to be the root should be equal, then print your R1 value and R2 value. The second condition is if d is greater than 0, then we are supposed to print two different real roots, which is R1 where it is minus b plus, anyhow I have calculated with the b square minus 4ac, which is sqrt of your d. So sqrt is your inbuilt function, then 2 into a. So minus b plus square root of b square minus 4ac. We have already calculated our d value here. The d value is calculated. So now you don't have to again write it as b square minus 4ac. So you can directly go ahead with writing the d here, minus b plus square root of your discriminant divided by 2 into a. So this is your first real part. And the second one is R2 is equals to minus b minus square root of your discriminant d is divided with 2 into a. Yes, this part is done. Now we are supposed to print these values. Let me print those values using your cout statement. Cout root R1 equals to, I'll print it as R1 itself, and I'll print the other root in the next line. So cout, I have print the R1 value. Now I have to print root R2 is equals to, what am I going to do? R2 and L. So I have printed two real roots, which is R1 and R2. Close your if statement. Now we have done with two different conditions. One is computing your R1, computing your d when d equals to 0. When d equals to 0, then your roots are equal. When d is greater than 0, then we are supposed to print two different real roots, which is R1 and R2. The third condition is if d is less than 0, then we are just supposed to, I'll make use of if else statement here. Else I don't have to give this condition again. So else cout roots are, we don't have to calculate the imaginary values. Only the thing that what we have to do is we have to just print that the roots are imaginary when d is less than 0. Imaginary roots are imaginary. So just close this and put an endl. So close your else statement. So here what we are doing is, if d, three conditions are given, if d equals to 0, then roots are equal, then compute your R1 and R2 value. So to compute your R1 and R2 value, first and the foremost thing that what I have to do is, here your d equals to minus b is being divided with 2 into a. Sorry, it's not d, it's R1. R1 equals to minus b divided by 2 into a. Then R2 is equals to, since your roots are equal in nature, whatever the value of your R1 is there, the same value of our R1 is also stored in R2. So if D is 0, we are supposed to calculate our root R1 as minus B divided by 2A. So your roots are equal. So that's why I'm storing your R1 value into your R2. The next step is, if your D is greater than 0, I'm supposed to compute your R1 and R2 and display two different roots. Else, if D is not greater than 0, then our third condition is it's supposed to be D is less than 0. Then when D is less than 0, then roots are imaginary in nature. So for D equals to 0, your R1 and R2 are equal. And here I have written the equation to compute your R1 and R1 value. So since your discriminant is 0, in this case, your R1 value will be equal to your R2 value, or your R2 value will be equal to your R1 value. If D is greater than 0, then you will have two different real numbers which we have to print. And finally, if D is less than 0, then what we have to do? Just print that as imaginary. So now I will close my member function, which is root. Now it's time to create the object, and let me create the object within the main function. And to create an object, we are supposed to take the help of quadratic is the class name followed by Q. Use CLR SCR to have your clear screen. Then go with Q dot. What are we supposed to do? We are supposed to read. Then we are supposed to compute discriminant. So invoke your member function using a dot operator object, a dot operator, and followed by the name of your member function. So to access the members of your class, we make use of a dot operator. And finally, access your root and use getCH. Close your main function. So we'll just see again. First and the foremost thing that what I have done is I have created a class called as a quadratic, and I would like to have three different coefficients of my quadratic equation, which is A, B, and C. And now we are supposed to calculate the discriminant D, and based on the discriminant value, we are supposed to calculate R1 and R2. I have defined or have declared my member functions within the class definition, which is read, disc, and root. And then I have defined the member functions outside the class definition using the scope resolution operator. The first one is read. I have read the coefficients value of your A and B and C. Then once you read your coefficients A, B, C, then you compute your discriminant value, which is D, where the equation is given as B square minus 4AC. That's been calculated. Once you have the discriminant, we have three different conditions. The first condition is if D equals to 0, then I am supposed to calculate your R1 value, where the equation becomes minus B divided by 2A. In this case, whatever the value of your R1, the same value of your R1 is stored to R2, because here the roots are equal. So the second condition is where if D value exceeds more than 0, then you're supposed to print two different values, which is R1 and R2. So that's what I have done here. I have printed the values of your R1 and R2, where your R1 is minus B plus square root of D divided by 2 into A, and R2 value is minus B minus square root of D divided by 2A. Since here we have used SQRT, it is mandatory that you include one more header files. So in this program, I have not included the header files. Let me include the header files. Include your iostream.h, include iostream.h to perform your input output operations. Then include console input output .h. Then since we are using a mathematical function to calculate a square root of a number, it is compulsory that you make sure you include a library function called as mat.h. So without this mat.h, the square root may not work properly. So make sure that you have included your header files mat.h, especially for this program, because you're calculating a square root, where the square root is an inbuilt function which is a part of your header file mat.h. Now, once we have calculated R1 and R2, in case print your R1 and R2. In case if your D is less than 0, then your roots will be imaginary in nature. Then declare an object using the class name quadratic and invoke your member functions, read, disk, and root using your dot operator. So let me check if, let me compile your program if I do have any errors in the program. So there is one error. Let me, here I have missed an operator. Okay. So again, I'll compile and check if there are any errors. So now my program is free from the bugs. Let me compile it and see. We are supposed to give input for 3 different cases here: when D equals to 0, when D is greater than 0, and when D is less than 0. So let me run the program. So now it is asking to enter the values of your A, B, and C. The first case, what I do is I'm going to make use of 1, 2, and 1. See what's my output is. So the first case is the roots are equal. Now to specify that the roots are equal, I have taken the value of your A as 1, B as 2, and C as 1. So this is my first case where my roots are equal, because R1 value is printed as -1 and R2 value is also computed as -1. So let me go with the second case. My second case is where when D is greater than 0, we will see what is the output that we are going to get. I'll run the program. This time the values for your A is 2, value for B is -3, and the value for your C is 1. Yes, now we have got our 2 different roots, R1 and R2, where your R1 is obtained as 1 and your R2 value is obtained as 0.5. We have printed 2 different real roots. Then the third case is if your D is greater than, less than 0. We have computed when D is greater than 0, else in the sense, so D should be less than 0. If D is less than 0, then our output should be imaginary. We will run and see what our output would be. Yes, 1, -1, and 1. Now we have got our output as roots are imaginary. So this is your lab program. You can make use of this particular program to explain how your member function is being defined outside the class using the scope resolution operator. So in the next video, I shall be explaining some more concepts which are related to your class and objects. So thank you for watching the video.